Hello and welcome to the next episode of Peteman Reviews. Today we are reviewing the Unite Warriors Combiner Wars variant of Vortex. Interestingly, he's known as Vorter rather than Vortex. I don't know why the X is out. And if you got the non-Unite Warriors variant, in other words the traditional release from Hasbro in the UK and the US, you didn't get Vortex at all. You got another Decepticon instead. So why was he left out? Well, I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, bit weird. In terms of this release, it's basically a slightly remodified and definitely heavily recolour scheme variant of Alpha Bravo, who was one of the area bots, which interestingly enough replaced, I think it was Fireflight. So actually, you have a person that was never meant to be in the aerial bots that's had to be redecoed to make a person that's meant to be in the Combaticons. Yeah, I don't understand it either, but regardless of which, we have Vortex out of this. And in terms of his helicopter mode, it's pretty darn good, isn't it? I really like the actual helicopter itself. It's quite a cool helicopter with the fins here. You've got a non-movable blade at the back, 4 blades here which do move. You've got non-movable weapons or missiles here. They actually form his arms, but they're quite well hidden in helicopter mode. And this is the Gatling gun, which is part of the standard combiner kit in terms of a hand or a foot. That said, in helicopter mode it looks quite good. Less of an add-on because it just looks like he's got Gatling guns strung below the helicopter. But if you take it off, you have a very sleek helicopter as well. So you know, it's your choice. You can either have the extra armament or not, and his traditional gun sits there as well, which is quite cool. Again, with the looks like the bullet feed going in there to make it just a huge, effectively given the scale, it would be a huge Gatling gun again. Though without the Gatling, I suppose that'd be the chain feeding for the missiles. Got some nice detailing on the helicopter with passenger parts there, and you can possibly just see maybe above the missiles. If I just do move that out of the way, got some additional detailing along there, which is quite nice too. And the front's very nice too, with a small emblazoned Decepticon logo. So all in all, it's a very impressive helicopter mode. I say, if it weren't for Alpha Bravo having already been existed to redeco, he makes quite a good Vortex in his own right. So you know, I'm quite impressed with that one. Transformation. Obviously, we take the gun off here. So what you're looking at is basically he's going to end up standing up something like this. There we go. That's been well and truly tabbed in there. Hence it not doing anything. This then flips down like this. You've probably seen this mechanism on quite a few other Transformers, particularly the Combiner Wars variant. It's very much the same. You know, you flip it all down and you end up with a leg that's twice the size as the other ones. So that's in there. When you're doing that, make sure that this bit is actually level, because it will want to come out like that. Otherwise this won't tab in. And then we have feet. Let's get that out of the way. Rotate it so you've got a nice level base there. Same thing here. And then of course we want to twist the hip round like so. So the arms we've got out there. They're the hands, as you can see, they form part of the missile, so they're non-movable, which I guess is fairly standard on a lot of the combiner pieces now. The rotors do fold, so you can arrange them in a place that gets them out of the way, but we still need to deal with this part. So this will rotate, as you can see, quite stiffly in here. Very stiff in fact. There we are. So you kind of need to move it apart like so. It comes out of the way, and then you can see you've got 2 tabs there for it to go back in. Again, we've seen this on other bits too. I'm just going to rotate that way so it doesn't get in the way. That sticks in there, and then the head rotates round. In terms of the wings, the rotors rather, I am just going to fiddle with it a little bit because there's not really a suitable place to put them. There we are. I'm just going to have them like that, so it's a bit chaotic at the back because there's not really a suitable place for them. You kind of just want it so that they don't get in the way. And finally, he can have his weapon there. Now, the Gatling gun, as I say, it's a standard foot hand, or you can have it as a gun if you wish. You can hold it like that, or, well, yeah, like that. So it's better than some of the others. At least it's coloured to a similar colour scheme to him, and it's quite nice to have a slightly different weapon. However, I've never been a big fan of these, so we'll just put it to one side. Then we have Vortex in his robot mode. Just zoom in a bit there. So what's good about it? Oh, the head is particularly nice. If I just pop it back a little bit here, maybe I'll get a bit of light on it. Head is particularly nice detail. I like the red eyes. I like the fact it's got a chrome faceplate too. The weapon looks good as well. The Combiner bit, you can see the blue in the chest there. It's all right. It kind of feels like perhaps it should be more grey than blue, because then it would blend in a bit more. So if this part was grey, and so the top part was grey and that part was blue, that would be okay. But because it's all blue, it does kind of stick out a little bit. Hands are all right. You know, you've got the usual level of articulation as you would expect with these guys. So you've got your whole legs move, arms move, head swivels. It's a decent figure. I think the helicopter mode is probably better than the robot mode. That's not to say the robot mode's bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's quite a decent Combiner Wars figure. And he scales quite well with Onslaught. Onslaught being, of course, significantly bigger. Onslaught was always significantly bigger, so actually they scale quite well with that. Yeah, I think overall, as a Decepticon, as Onslaught, an updated version, it's quite decent. The helicopter mode, as I say, I know it's a redesign of Alpha Bravo, but actually it works very well for Vortex as well, given that Alpha Bravo never existed in the original continuity, yet Vortex did. It seems odd that they would release it that way, but hey, never mind. Who knows what goes inside the heads of Hasbro, I mean to say. At least Takara released the correct versions of the Combaticons, so that's good. Even if they do feel the need to call him Vorter, I guess they lost copyright to the name Vortex, but we all know it's Vortex. Yeah, decent toy. Obviously you can only get him in the multi-pack as Vorter or Vortex, so you would never get him by himself, but he's quite a nice little toy. And while the missiles mean that his hands don't move, the trade-off is you get some very cool missiles which appear to look quite good in either robot or helicopter mode. And just a note on the gun, I think that's a particularly nice gun with the little moulded bullets that appear there to feed into the mechanism. Good toy, definitely worth getting. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next review.